Hey guys, what's going on? Mr. Zeo here, and got another Arcanist video for you guys. I've been really getting into this game lately, and I've been getting in the rated scene especially, and I just like to go over one of the rated books I use. I use a few books, they're all mixed. I'll just go over this one right quickly, and then I'll take you guys through the process of building one. First of all, this is my classic rated book. I've got Arcane Gate here, that is just a default spell basically. Pebble Shot, which is great for D towers. I really like it because a lot of the rateds now are just people tower spamming, and that really helps with it. Then you got Flight, which is an obvious choice. Shock Bomb mostly for Storm Shield is a prerequisite, but it's also great damage, great knockback if you can land it. I'm not too good with the bombs myself, but hitting one is just it's such a turn in your favor really. And the Mega Boulder, that's self-explanatory. Everyone should have that. Aura of Decay and Pixie combo. I've got that combo up. You trap someone with all 3 pixies, get the Aura Rebound, and that's 60 damage and 60 healing your pixies each turn, I believe. And if you can stack that up and they don't kill your pixie straight away, that is a great advantage and pretty much a free win right there. Then you got Forest Seed. Now Forest Seed I actually use quite a bit as trapping the stall, but it's basically just there as a prerequisite for the pixies. And then Deluge, it's just strongest area in the game, there's no need for explanation there. Cuckoo Clock's an interesting one. I really like Cuckoo Clock, as if you notice here, it's my only really direct ball spell. Mud Ball is just for trapping and stalling. Oh, and setting up for Mega Boulder, of course. And then I got Blast from the Past here, which is great for disabling flyers. I don't have Flash though, so that's my main problem with Blast from the Past, is it goes really well with Flash if you get under someone flying. It's pretty much a free knockoff, but I I really I don't know in this book if I should have it, because I find it only really works well with Flash. Like, it's got that little bit of extra damage there, but I think it's just good to have in any book. I'm old-fashioned like that, but a lot of people just like it with Flash. That goes for me too. I really like it with Flash, but I just couldn't find any room for Flash in this book. And Storm Spirit, I never use Storm Spirit. Like, maybe for the shield once in a while if I've got 2 turns to spare for whatever reason. But it's just a prerequisite for Flight. I just noticed it was the only one I didn't go over. So now we'll take you guys through the process of making a rated book. I have all the necessary spells for it. I'm missing like Paladin and Rising Star, but those aren't necessary. Sometimes I like Castle Light. So this is just going to be a basic 60-second random book. 60 Grassy is kind of generic, but it's the only 60 seconds you're going to find. So you're going to start off with Arcane Gate. Now, if you want to look for that first turn sync and get your advantage way up if you happen to go first, you'd likely take Flash. It's a risk-reward type of situation. If you can get a sync off with it, it's good. It's also sort of good for digging, but other than that, it's just a wasted slot if you don't get first move, because they're not going to let themselves get sunk, at least not easily. Mud Ball, Mega Boulder, that's pretty obvious. Pebble Shot, I don't always go with Pebble Shot. There's some other spells that can one-shot towers that have other uses as well, so if you want to make it more versatile, you don't have to waste the slot. But Pebble Shot's just one reliable shot that's always going to take down a turret, and it's always going to be available. That's why I like it. I'm not going to take in this book, just to mix things up a bit. Storm Shield, once again, pretty generic. This is going to be more of a stalling book, though. So, I'm going to take it. Just to go with the Ice Shield I'm going to get. And if you get Ice Shield, then you're going to want Ice Castle. And then Snowball. This is the trio right here. If you take Ice Shield, I always like to have Ice Castle and Snowball. That really, really helps out, unless they have Pebble Shot. you're golden with that combo. And then I like Den of Darkness a lot, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite towers. And then the stalling book, it's all stalling for one purpose. We're gonna get Dark Knight, Pegasus combo out there, that's self-explanatory. Dark Knight's a good, strong summon, plus the Pegasus makes up for the lack of jump height that the Dark Knight possesses. Then we're gonna take Protection Shield, looks like. It's I like Forest Seed better for stalling. We might be able to take both, but I'm gonna take what I consider necessary, Cuckoo Clock. And then we're gonna go with Forest Seed, prioritize that, and then we're probably gonna want Deluge, but I'm gonna take out Snowball and Ice Castle, because we've already got Clock Tower in there. We don't need 3 towers, that's just a little too much in one book. So we will put Deluge in there, that is a definite possibility. And I'm gonna say the last one, I don't like Fly and Stall books. If I were to get Vine Whip, Vine Bridge is a good uh, replacement for Fly and Stall books, because not only can it trap them, but you can get to pretty much any area in the map with it. I also like Entangle, but that's really only for the Dark Knight combo, and when you have Pegasus, Entangle's not really necessary. So these last few spells are always tricky. There's a lot of possibilities you can put with this book, and there's only 2 slots left. I'm thinking Fly. I'm thinking I like Fly in a lot of my books. Like, we have Pegasus there, but that's for the Dark Knight. Depends whether you're gonna get that Dark Knight out and whether he's gonna live. If you get him out on the Pegasus, you should be fine. Otherwise, a well-placed Cuckoo Clock can destroy him, or he could get knocked off the edge. You get knocked off Pegasus too, but he won't go as far, and if you set it up right, it should be impossible. I'm thinking about, yeah, Pixie Aura. Pixie and Aura, that's what I'm going to settle on. Because, for those of you who don't know the Pixie Aura combo, basically, if you round up all the Pixies, and you go next to someone with them, like you hug them, then the Aura will rebound, because all damage rebounds from a certain distance. You have to be right up against them. It will do 60 damage a turn if you hit every Pixie, and I believe if you set it up right, you can get 60 healing on the undead Pixies that will follow that damage. I'm going to say that is probably... Yeah, we don't need to substitute any spells here, it's looking good. And you're ready for Rated. That's just the thought pattern that goes through me creating these books. I never use the same book twice. If I do, it's completely accidental. I like to switch it up a lot, learn the combos. Combo favorite of mine is the Aura and the Pixies. I use that a lot. And you'll also see me with Storm Shield quite a bit. And Mega Boulder is just always there in case you run out of ideas. Just launch a Mega Boulder. It does like 100, 200 damage depending on how you set it up. I've never seen it do the full 250. But I would like to get that someday. Just have them at 250 health. You somehow stalled that long to turn 3, and then just obliterate them. That would be something. I don't normally use minions, besides pixies of course, but the minions are just a last resort kind of thing. The Dark Knights kind of put them on the ropes deal. I'm never been good with using it. A lot of people can 250 with it. I'm not sure how they do that. I think it's a glitch because it's only supposed to be able to do, I think, 150 damage with the charge. But nonetheless, it's possible. I've never figured out how to do it. No one's been good at explaining it. So I'm just gonna leave that. It still does a lot of damage, and it's still a really good summon, so I always like to have it in my book. But most of the other combos I use are for free to play, and they're usually troll books like Full Seas with Dark Defenses. Rated's the only time I take books seriously and I make them mixed and I go tryhard. And to top this off, I think we have enough time. We do have enough time. To top this off, I'm going to make a quick 10-second book. It is 10 seconds and you gotta be quick. So, you're not gonna bring Arcane Gate. You're not gonna bring it. This is a big risk, big reward kind of book. Alright, so what you're gonna want is you're gonna want Flame Shield, Flame Wall. Go over here, Deluge, Maelstrom. This is a really cheap book, by the way, but it works. Protection Shield. You're gonna want Den of Darkness, Ice Shield, Wind Shield. It's really a stalling book. Skyray. I don't know why I missed Skyray. Not Cogfall. Cogfall's a bad idea. Just thinking about it, you're gonna want most aerials, but definitely not Cogfall. Reign of Chaos. That doesn't really work in the setting that I'm thinking of. Now, it's 10 seconds, so you're not gonna have a lot of time. But if you think you can manage it, you can always take Fly. I never do. What else are we putting in the book? Quake. Fuck it, why not? Let's gate it up. Rain of Arrows, missed that. And how much does this do again? Up to 100. Those two ones are definitely a prerequisite and something else. I'd actually go with Clock Tower and recall. Nah, minions 10 seconds never works. I'll explain this all in detail afterwards. I'm just going through the motions at this point. It's a very complicated thought process I'm going through right now. Aura, that's what I was looking for. Alright, so now let me explain all these. Now I'll explain the Flame Shield, Flame Wall, and Wind Shield all in one. You're going to want to get as much aggro off you as possible. Turn 1 I like to use the Wind Shield with the Ice Shield, and then go into Protection. Then usually I'll tower up, and after the tower it's time to hit them with all the aerials you have, possibly Maelstrom. This is a book for Arcane Crystals 10 seconds, by the way. I don't know if I explained that. That's the only time that Maelstrom is going to work in your favor for a 10 seconds match. You got your Rain of Arrows, Rain of Fire. Those are all going to come out too. And once the aerials are on cooldown, they should truly only be on cooldown for 1 second, or for 1 turn. But you're going to want to Flame Shield after that, and I don't condone 10 seconds. I hate 10-second matches. But if you're not feeling like you need the Flame Shield, or it's necessary, I'd usually just Aura of Decay them, and then you can start the cycle of aerials all over him. Protection Shield when you can. It depends on how you're feeling with how much damage you're taking. Den of Darkness is always the first one you're going to use. The Clock Tower is just a fallback on that. If your Den of Darkness is down and you get your Clock Tower down, it's pretty much over for you, I'm not going to lie. Unless you can start hitting them with more aerials. The Quake is really just for after the Maelstrom. They're not going to have time to move around too much. They're going to still be near the Maelstrom. The Quake will take care of that, or it will just destroy towers. It doesn't matter which it does, it's useful either way. And that's pretty much how you make a 10 seconds book. So this has been a few book guides, Zozo. I probably won't be making another guide for a while. I'm gonna say the next few videos will definitely be just matches, and I was thinking about doing a little mini series where I go into ranked games and I make fun of people for making mistakes, and that way you'll learn the do's and don'ts of rated, not ranked. I'm thinking league. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.